Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And gentlemen, thanks for your testimony and your service. Admiral Locklear, thank you for hosting me a couple weeks ago. Appreciate the time. Please send my regards to your staff. 3 hours on a Saturday is well above and beyond the call of duty for anybody, so let them know how much I appreciate that. You know, I've been critical of many aspects of the President's national security strategy, in part because I think we've lacked credibility. When we say something that we're going to do as a country, we need to do it, and I think in certain areas of the world we haven't done that, and I think it undermines our national security when we do that. One area of the President's strategy that I have been supportive both militarily and economically is the Chairman stated about TPP is the rebalance to the Asia Pacific, and you know, I believe we need to make sure this rebalance and optimization of our military forces in the region is credible. We're saying that we're going to rebalance. We need to actually do it. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir, I do. And I think that the rebalance goes far beyond just military, though.
Right.
I think we have to also get our economic house in order as well. Otherwise, all the military rebalancing we do will not have the effect that we want it to have.
I agree with that. I appreciate the map, the AOR map. Wanted to talk briefly, you know, Alaska is no longer in your AOR, but as we discussed, the troops, and which are significant both in terms of Army BCTs and a very robust Air Force presence, those troops are still OPCON to you in the event of contingencies, aren't they?
That's correct, sir.
And how critical do you see these troops, and General Scaparrotti, please comment, in the region in terms of not only shaping but also contingency forces with regard to your op plans?
Well, Senator, the forces in Alaska, you know, if you take a look at the globe, they're as far west as, or maybe even farther west in some cases than Hawaii is. So the response time that those forces would have into any significant contingency in Northeast Asia or Southeast Asia is quite good and important. That's why those forces, I think, have been OPCON, COCOM to me or to PACOM for a long time. There's a variety of forces up there that are important to us. The fighter squadrons that are there, the BCTs that are there, including the ranges. The range complexes that we have in Alaska are very important because that's where we get our high-end training for some of our hardest types of environments that our aviators may have to fly in.
General Scaparrotti, how about you in terms of just the Korean contingency issues?
No, I agree with Admiral Locklear. We rely on those forces as a part of our quick response, which we'll need in crisis. We also train with them regularly, and we also send forces to train there, too.
Do you think if we removed one or two BCTs from Alaska, do you think that would show that we're committed to a rebalance or undermine our rebalance commitment? Again, this goes to credibility.
Well, I think that from a perspective of, you know, what the other outcomes were of that, from a regional perspective, there would be questions about the loss of troops.
And the credibility of our rebalance strategy?
I think you'd have to look at it holistically. I prefer not to take it from just one perspective here, but I think I'd have to understand the remainder of the changes that were taking place if, in fact, that were to happen.
Admiral Locklear, do you think that would undermine our rebalance credibility? Two BCTs in the region leaving the region?
Yeah, I would answer it in general terms. I think that any significant force structure moves out of my AOR in the middle of a rebalance would have to be understood and have to be explained because it would be counterintuitive to a rebalance to move significant forces in another direction.
I agree with that. And I think it's a really important issue as we look at the rebalance as a successful rebalance that's credible. Can I turn to, I want to also commend you for what you stated and Senator Wicker on the strategic lift issue. I think that was certainly something I saw on my recent trip that was a concern. We're moving forces to different parts of the region, but the strategic lift seems to be lacking, both Air Force and our capacity. But to get there, we need to have a successful laydown. Are you confident that the realignment of forces from Okinawa to Guam and Australia and other places is going to be on schedule in terms of costs and timelines that the department has laid out? I know that's something that this committee, as you know, has been very focused on.
Yes, sir. Well, in the last 3 years, I've had a lot of time to take a look at this and to work through it. And my overall assessment is that we're on plan at this point in time.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.